Hello and welcome back to the Ultimate Decades Challenge. It is now the year 1337, which marks the start of the 100-Year War. The historical background for the war was a dispute over the throne. My playthrough of the story takes place in England, so we can kind of go based on the history and just say that the villagers potentially are being drafted to fight on behalf of the British Crown. They probably don't know a lot more than that. All of the villagers and families we've seen have been peasants. So if they are drafted, they probably just know that they're fighting on behalf of the crown and not a lot more about the politics or intricacies other than that. So per the rules by Morbid Gamer, we are going to be rolling a d4 for each male between teen and adult. She specifies to include your main household and side households. I am also going to be rolling for some villager families as well. And if a particular boy gets a 4, they will be enlisted. And they will have to go to the war camp for the next 5 years. And at the end of those 5 years, we will be rolling for all the enlisted men to see if they survive or not. If they survive, they get to come home. And that pattern of rolling for enlistment and then for deaths is going to repeat approximately every 10 years for a few times, because this is a long, drawn-out war. I think there's actually several parts to this conflict historically. I don't know that I'm going to really build up that much detail in the story, because I think, again, the peasants don't really know much about the conflict itself. They're not really involved in the politics. So we're just going to say they're drafted to war according to the rules. So I do want to go through all the men now and do the rolls, and then they will be shipped off to war right away. So we do have 2 pregnancies currently, which is good to note. So our heir's wife, Mari, is pregnant, and the shepherd's daughter is also pregnant, Constance. They're in Henford-on-Bagley, so I'm not going to show her right now. But Thomas's wife, Constance, is also pregnant. So we have 2 potential heirs on the way. But we don't have a lot of grandbaby males right now. So we have Richard, Peter, and Thomas are the first 3 in line. And then after them, Richard does not have any sons right now. All his kids have died. Peter is not married. He has no children. And Thomas has 1 son right now. And then after that, it would go to Agneta's son, Dennis. So really, there's only, I think, 5 men in the line. 4 of those are potentially going to war right now. I think I'm doing my math right there. So there is a lot at stake here. I am going to go kind of in a particular order. So first, let's start with our main household. I know that's a big roll to start with, but I'm kind of going to start from most important to least important. We'll roll for Richard, and then we'll roll for Peter, because they're in the same household. So again, a 4 is going to be enlisted. Okay, so Richard is good. Sorry, I clicked off of them. So Richard is good. Let's roll for Peter now. Peter got a 1, so he's good too. Okay, that is a good start. Next, I want to go through Agneta's family. So let's do her husband first, Preston. He got a 2, so he is fine. Then let's do the men Agneta lives with. So Arn the innkeeper, and then Dennis, her son. Arn is good. Dennis is okay as well. It's almost been too good so far. But we got through a lot of the most important ones. Actually, the next is going to be the last one that I really strongly care about. So let's go to Henford on Bagley. And let's roll for the Shepherd household. We won't roll for Nathaniel because he's just a infant. But we will roll for Osbert and then Thomas. So first, the Shepherd Osbert. And he's fine. And Thomas is fine too. Okay. So that was our entire Hawthorne family, with no one getting enlisted. So that is super, super lucky. Next we will go through some of the villager families. So let's do Charles Surf next. He's fine. The Sestari family, where are they? So they're over here, so we'll roll for Julio and then his son Ezekiel. Julio is fine. Ezekiel is going to war. Okay, so that's our first one. So Ezekiel is the heir to the Sestari house. He is not married. He was actually a potential match for Bridget Hawthorne, who passed away unexpectedly. So he's the heir to Sestari house, but he has no wife. Guinevere is his sister, so Ezekiel is our first man going to war. Okay, let's do the Gallagher house next. So we have 3 men to do here. So Nicole is father, and then we're gonna do Aiden, the heir, and then his younger brother Bernard. So first is Nicole. Okay, Nicole is going to war. Let's do Aiden next. Okay, Aiden is going as well. This is balancing out our numbers from earlier. So then finally Bernard, who is also going. Oh my gosh, their entire family. That is not great for them. The current status of this family, Fiona and Nicole are the parents. Mari was the eldest daughter. She is now married to our heir. And then Roisin is not married yet. Aiden is the heir to this house. He is married to Tala. I don't know if Tala's pregnant yet or not. So they might have a baby on the way. And then Bernard is the youngest son. So all 3 of those boys are going to war, which is super unfortunate for that family. Let's do the Algrens next. So in this household, it will just be Erland. And he got it too, so he is good. The last household we have to roll for now is this catch-all household. So Kelvin Surf, Jose Alves, Fabio Trindade. Those will be the 3 we roll for here. So Kelvin first. He is fine. Then let's do Jose. He is fine. Finally, Fabio. He's fine. Okay. So that is a very interesting result. We have 4 men going to war, and that will be the heir to the Sistari household, Ezekiel, and then all 3 boys from the Gallagher household. So the current head of House Nicole, as well as his 2 sons, are all going to war. So that is super interesting. I am going to get them moved to the war camp before we continue the episode. But the good news is that all our boys in the Hawthorne household are good, so we can keep trying to have kids, which we very desperately need. Our 4 enlistees are now at the war camp, separated from their families, and this is where they will be staying for the next 5 years. This lot was a beautiful lot from the gallery by username Pedantic Duck, if you want to look it up for yourself. And I just made a couple adjustments with some CC, but essentially there's 3 little huts here, kind of a dining tent, and then more of like an officer's tent, and some planing tents over here. So let me show you the inside as well. So, we have a war planning room here, lots of supplies, and some more officers' quarters. I might make a sim to be like their officer, but we probably won't spend too much time here. They spent their first night just each grabbing one of these beds, so they have settled in quite nicely here, probably missing their families already, but this is a great opportunity for them to get closer to each other as well. So just wanted to show you guys where they will be staying for a while, in between their, efforts on the front. In reality, this would be like a camp that moves around quite a bit, but due to limitations of the Sims, obviously, it's just going to be a lot here. It is a bit later in the year now, and Mari wanted to visit her family. It turns out that her brother Aiden and his wife were pregnant when Aiden went off to war, so little baby Powell is here. So Powell Gallagher was just born to his mom Tala. So that's her right here. So there's a new baby in this family. Unfortunately, their cat passed away as well. So between those 2 things, as well as the men going off to war, Mari definitely wanted to make a visit over here before she is potentially stuck at home after she gives birth. So she's greeting little Powell, and let's have her use the restroom. And then we can go say hi to everyone. Richard is here as well. He didn't want Mari to go alone, so he accompanied her to visit. So let's discuss neighborhood changes and how all 3 men in this house did go off to war a few months ago. So Richard will show some appreciation. He's really appreciating their hardworking nature while all the men are off. Or also, like, admire. Friendly compliment. Let's give a pep talk. And Tala looks like she's a good mom, so rocking her little baby. Where'd Mari go? Okay, Mari is feeling all contemplative. I think she's mourning the loss of their cat, yeah. So let's share big news with Fiona. And let's ask for advice about being a mom and the death of their cat. Mari's already been a mom for a while, but all of her children so far have died very young. So she's asking Fiona, like, is there anything I'm doing wrong? What can I do better? And Fiona's reassuring her that sometimes these things just happen, and she is truly a great mother, even though her children are in heaven. So Mari's still feeling pretty sad, but good for her to get out and visit her family, see everyone. It's like Richard's joining the conversation. Talk about dreams. Ask how Fiona's day is going. Mari is coming back to chat. Mari doesn't know Tala that well, so let's greet her. Let's talk about art. Give some parenting tips. And ask for advice as well. Alright, I want to get them home before dark, so I think they're gonna head on home soon. Let's have Richard meet the baby first, though. Alright, he can, coo at the baby and talk to the baby. Alright, and they're gonna head on home now. It is the next morning now, and Eldrada made this stargazy eel pie. I've never seen that before. So that looks quite interesting. Mari is in labor. Looks like she wants to eat before she gives birth. She's been through this enough times. She knows, you know, she's got a few hours. She can take a seat for a little bit. Let's have Richard grab something to eat as well. Looks like everyone is. And once Mari is done with that, she can give birth. Alright, she abandoned the pie. And Mari had a baby girl. Let's name her Mabel. So as Mabel enters the world, we do need to do her roles. So we're gonna roll a d20, and to survive, Mabel needs to avoid 1, 5, 10, 15, and 20. And she got a 5. So fortunately, baby Mabel is not going to make it. Let's roll for Mari to survive childbirth. And she is good. Okay, so fortunately, that's another child they're going to lose. Gonna take care of that right away here. So the story for Mabel is going to be that she was a stillbirth. Alright, and baby Mabel has passed away. And okay, so they do have the correct moodlets for that. Have Richard mourn the loss of his baby, and Mari can mourn her as well. They just do not have good luck at all. Let's have Richard console Mari about the death.
Oh, Bemfoy! Oh, Sambro Yubara? Elfris Borat Siwan! And Zerba.
Alright, Mari needs to eat some more of this pie. And Richard can go fish in the rain. Get out for a little bit. Oh no. Mari's mom wants to come over and see the baby. Oh no. I'm gonna say cancel because I think Fiona, like, she maybe offered to come over and then Mari was like, no, don't bother. So we're gonna cancel that stay over. So that is so sad. Peter is just witnessing all of this. I feel like he feels very helpless. Like, he can't really do anything to help. Same with Aldreda. It's just rough for everyone to see, really. So maybe Aldreda can do some laundry to help out. Peter can help out with the chores like usual. Looks like he's chatting with Mari. And trying to be a little comforting at least, even though they're not very close. I switched over to the Shepherd family because Constance is also ready to give birth. So this is, I think, their third child. And it's a baby boy. Let's name him Tolly. Alright, we're gonna have to roll again. Fingers crossed that it goes a little better this time. Oh, Nathaniel sneezes a lot. Okay, so let's do Tolly's roll. And he's not gonna make it either. And let's roll for Constance. Okay, and she's good. Oh man, this generation is just eating me alive. Alright, we're gonna say goodbye to Tolly. Alright, little Tolly is gonna pass away. He was also a stillborn. Alright, let's put his grave like over here. Can rearrange this later. And while we're here, I thought maybe we could roll for Nathaniel right away. So he's going to turn into a toddler in a couple of days. So for the toddler roll, he needs to avoid 4, 8, and 12. Oh, shoot! Oh my gosh, you guys! Oh my gosh. This is awful. Alright, I'm gonna let him live for his full infant stage. So I will come back in a couple days when it is time for Nathaniel to also pass away. So I'm gonna actually leave the episode here. A lot has happened. We were super lucky with our roles for the war and didn't have any of our main sims go to war. However, these baby roles have been awful. We had 3 children essentially die this year. So that's horrible. I am so sorry that you guys have to sit through all these roles and we don't even have a baby out of it. It has been so devastating for these families recently. So I hope it does start to look better in the future. In the meantime, if you enjoyed the episode, please give it a like. Please make sure you're subscribed. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of everything. And I will see you next time.